Alright, now I'm assuming you watched this video because you seen a Jersey Club video on TikTok and you thought, well, that shit hard. I want to make my own. So that's what I'm here for. I'm going to teach you how to make Jersey Club by yours truly, prod.yumiko. Alright, so first thing you have to take into consideration is that there are many different kinds of Jersey Club. There's bounce, tang, wick, it's a whole bunch. So today I'm going to be covering the main Jersey Club type, which is just bounce. Alright, so first thing you want to focus on is your melody or a sample. Melody slash sample, doesn't matter. I feel like you should go for a sample. That would be like it doesn't require as much creativity, but at the same time, you can bend it into whatever you want. Alright, I found a sample to use, and it's something just very, very simple. Something that I can really work with. See, that's something pretty simple. It's not the best smell, but it's a melody you can work with type shit. Next thing you want to worry about is your bass. And the bass is a really important factor of the beat because it can really alter it from being a good beat to a great beat, right? There are a whole bunch of basses you can use, but for this tutorial and for the sake of the simplicity, I'm just going to use bass H. Bass H is a very reliable bass you can use to make a beat. I'm going to be explaining the length of the bass by these bars. So this would be 4, this would be 3, this would be 2, and then this would be 1. Something very simple. Alright, so basically the way the Jersey Club bass really goes is 4-4 and then 3-3-2. 4-4-3-3-2. It sounds like this. Very, very simple. Now one thing I recommend is to take all those off and then put your trim all the way up and press normalize and then put the mode to stretch and put the time down. If you do that, it'll sound way cleaner. And then just fade this in a little bit at the end. And then it'll just sound like this. Another thing I recommend is to go to your mixer and turn off limiter so that way it doesn't sound, so that way you can really hear the bass. Now this is optional if you want, but you can turn the volume up a little bit too. This is basically what we're working with the bass. It's something simple. If you want, you really could just end it right here. But you know, the good Jersey Club beat doesn't just end here. Now, there are some sound effects, slash boxes, slash sound effects like that can really make your Jersey Club beat go from good to great, like I said. And some notable ones are whips, cracks, and gun clicks. So I'm gonna just start with the whip real quick. That's what it sounds like. It's very easy to find a whip loop. It's really not that hard. But like I said, for the bass, you could just turn the trim all the way up, press normalize and put it to stretch. Just put the time down and then extend it out a little bit and make it sound better. Now I don't use whips a lot, but what I like to do for the whips is I like to put the pitch down a little bit, probably like 300 cents. But one thing I like to do is that I don't really like to put the whips immediately into the beat. So I'm going to duplicate this over here and then just delete this. Same thing with these, but I'm just going to leave this right here. Another thing I like to use are gun clicks, reload clicks, however I like to say it, doesn't matter. Same thing for the whips. It's not that hard to find a reload click. So what it sounds like. Now there's 3 different ways you can use these gun clicks, and I'll just show you to you right now. Now the first way is just to have them all together like this. Just let it run the entire way. Another way you can do it is if you just have it towards the 8, like towards right here. So you let it run for a little bit. I'm gonna have just the bass and then the bass and the reload, so it just sounds like this. This is the way I like to do it. I like to do this a lot with my beat, but it's not bad to have them running all the way like this. But and then another way I like to do it is to have it run at this specific part right here, like have it run the 2nd time and the 4th time. The last thing I could recommend, and my favorite thing in the entirety of making beats, is the voxes. The sounds like the voice effects of the beat. This is my favorite part because I can really manipulate it into whatever I want. And it'll really make the beat good. If you're really good at it. So I'm just gonna use a simple one, a simple chant. Now for the boxes, there is a specific pattern you can use, which is called like an echo pattern. Where you have the box once right here, and then you duplicate it, and then have it at a lower volume, so it kind of sounds like an echo, like this. But that doesn't sound full. As you can see in the wavelength, there's still a gap in space. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend this out to where that gap of space isn't there anymore, and I'm gonna just trim it, and I'm gonna put this on stretch as well. Yeah, that sounds way better. This combined with the gun clicks is really gonna make your beat good. Don't forget to switch it up though. Don't have this like you can have it running the entire beat, but it's really not gonna it's gonna sound repetitive. So I suggest you really the beat like it make the boxes more versatile. So this is what we're working with right now. One thing I'll also do is that I'm gonna add another box, but the box is gonna take up two bars. Like it's gonna dilate into two different bars. What I'm gonna do is that this syllable this box right here has two syllables.
Throw it.
You can hear how it has two syllables. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the second syllable on the fourth bar. That's what I love to do that. That's really my way of making beats, or either on the fourth or halfway to that line.
Throw it.
Yeah, that sounds perfect right there. And then fade it in a little bit and fade it out. I'm gonna use that echo thing I mentioned earlier. Let's see how that sounds. Another thing I like to do is I'll add a clap at the fourth bar as well. My favorite thing to do, which there's a whole bunch of claps you can use in a Jersey Club. My favorite clap is the Steez clap. Now, like I said, it's not hard to find this either. None of these are really hard to find at all. I might end up making a kit for you guys to use, so it won't be hard at all making any beats. But I like to add this Steez clap at the fourth bar so it aligns with the reload. So it'll sound like this. Alright, I did some off-camera creating, and this is what I did. This is what I did with this beat, and I hope y'all enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'm just gonna play the beat. Now, like I said, Jersey Club comes with a lot of creativity, a lot of experimenting, and a lot of trial and error. There's gonna be a point of time to where you make a beat, you think, oh, this sucks, like this shit's ass, and then you just scrap the entire beat and try to make something else. And that's okay. That's part of a process. One thing I can say is don't lose motivation because you can't see the vision of the beat, because your ears aren't the same as everyone else's ears. For example, you could think this is terrible while someone else thinks this is hard. So really tweak it to like balance that. But that's all I got for y'all today, and I just hope y'all enjoyed.